Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today we're going to react to Batista Batista's heel run was underrated. I know that's not what it says, but then again, y'all can't see it anyway. I got shit blocking. So yeah, Batista's heel run. This is his last run with the company before he went on to go do Hollywood movies and whatnot. You know how that goes. But yeah, man, I always hated how they turned Batista heel but never gave John Cena a chance to fully embrace that heel shit. I know a lot of people gonna say it's because, oh well, it didn't make sense. He couldn't do it because he had too many brand deals, and he didn't want to. And the WWE didn't want to fuck up the brand. They didn't want to fuck up the money, which is understandable. But man, sometimes you gotta take a chance. Look at what they did with Roman Reigns. Look at Roman Reigns now. Come on, man. By the way, I'm missing WrestleMania. I'm missing night one of WrestleMania for y'all. I'm missing The Rock in the ring with Roman Reigns for y'all, so I can live stream and have fun with y'all. So make sure y'all pull up to the stream tonight. I'm gonna start at like 5. I'm gonna start around 5. I say we gonna start around 5. You know me, I be on CPT, so you already know how I be rocking, man. So around 5 o'clock Central, that's when we'll do our live stream. So yeah, make sure y'all pull up to the stream around like 5 o'clock Central, and I will see you guys there. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
When I think about the biggest stars of the Ruthless Aggression era, of course you have John Cena, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, Edge, Kane, Rey Mysterio, but one that comes to my mind that had one of the most underrated runs at the ending of the era leading into the PG era is Batista. I truly do think, even though people know how big Batista was in the 2000s, that his legacy was kind of brought down by the run he had in 2014. And that's not to say that the run was bad, but obviously it did not go according to the plan that he or the company had in mind for it. But if you look at his run in the 2000s, I truly do believe there's a lot of great things to pull from it. But what's so shocking about it when I was going through it is that it really wasn't that long. Batista won his first world title that put him over as a real single star in 2005 at WrestleMania 21 from Triple H. It would only be a 5-year run, as in 2010 he would leave the company shortly following WrestleMania 26. Now of course he did have a run before 2005 with Evolution, but the real run that people do remember was his run from 05 to 2010 as a single star. And for people actually watching it in real time, you wouldn't have thought that it was actually that short. But nonetheless, when I look at Batista's run, I do believe, even though there were some great things in the middle, in the beginning, and everything in between, I still do think the best part of his run came towards the tail end of it, his heel run. Because for those who don't know, throughout most of Batista's tenure, excluding like the last couple of months, he was a babyface. He started off his singles run by beating Triple H not once, not twice, but 3 straight times clean. Side note, shout out to Triple H. People say he doesn't do the job for people and put people over. All he did was bury guys back then, which to an extent
he puts his guys over. Let's keep it real, dog. Triple H put his guys over. You think Triple H was gonna really put over anybody else? No, he put his guys over. And then once everybody, I know y'all gonna probably bring up Cena, but let's be real. Cena was the face of the company. Do you really fuck that up if you're Triple H? You gotta understand the business sometimes. Even though Cena was starting to get booed around that time and people saying he couldn't wrestle and all this stuff, he was still white hot. His merch was still selling. Triple H understood the business, so I will say that much. But back then, he did used to put his guys over. He never really put anybody over like that. Because if that's the case, then why did Booker T not win at WrestleMania? We still have problems about. I still have problems about that to this day. You know what I'm saying? The fact that Booker T didn't go over at WrestleMania still pisses me off to this day. Still does. I don't care what y'all say. I hate the fact that they don't never let no black man, because he a black man. Yeah, I said it, because he a black man, and they ain't want to put him over. knowing damn well he was meant to go over. Booker T had everything going for him to go over. It's okay though. It's okay though. Because the WWE learned the hard way when they put Chris Benoit over at WrestleMania. They learned the hard way. Now look at you. You can't even celebrate that man title now. You can't even celebrate that. Now that shit is redacted. He's now known as redacted, along with Brock Lesnar.
True, but this was definitely not one of those cases, and it was a big reason why Batista became the star that he later on became. Batista, though, would then go on to have some great matches in the 2000s. I loved his feuds and matches with The Undertaker. The WrestleMania 23 match was one of the best matches that The Undertaker has had in his WrestleMania tenure. What's crazy about it is that a lot of people didn't think that match would be that good, but they superseded so many expectations.
Yeah, the backstory behind that is that Batista and Undertaker felt like they match should have headlined WrestleMania over John Cena and Shawn Michaels, and they were upset about that. So they was like, yo, why are we not the headliners of WrestleMania? Why are they the headliners of WrestleMania? This is the bigger name. It was like, oh, you know, it's Cena. He's white hot. You know what I'm saying? He sells merchandise. We got to put our top guy last. It's like, that's bullshit. Me and Taker is going to be the better match. It was like, we just don't see it. We just don't see it. And even though Cena and Shawn Michaels was a great match, they was not fucking with these two. Because Batista, Undertaker said, fuck that. We going out there. We going to tear the goddamn house down. And they giving us, and just remember, they giving us 25 minutes. That's right, my boy. They giving us 25 minutes. So you know what that means, right? If we going to get 25 minutes, tear this motherfucker up. And boy, did they tear that motherfucker up. Shout out to Batista and Undertaker.
Batista also has some pretty good matches with guys like Edge, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, and countless others. And throughout all of this time, he was a babyface. And how could he not be? He had one of the best theme songs in WWE history, I Walk Alone. I love that track. Pair that with the entrance that he had coming out hyped as hell, go to one side of the stage, the other side of the stage, and then he would do his little pyro shit. It was so live. And on top of that, the man had drip. If you go back to that first World Heavyweight Championship reign, I'm talking about the white turtlenecks coming out. You can see it right here. My man's is dripping head to toe. Hell, look at this fit right here. You see the Gucci watch? You see the leather jacket? My goodness, my man's is going crazy. Until October 25th, 2009, in a fatal four-way match with CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, and The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship, Batista would not only lose that match, but he was actually the one who took the pin. Following the match, Batista would be so frustrated and he turned on Rey Mysterio, who was his longtime friend that earlier on in their careers were tag team champions.
You're supposed to be my friend.
And that makes a lot of sense, because if you really want to get some heat in this company, just do something bad to Rey Mysterio.
Facts. He beat the shit out of Rey Mysterio. He beat the shit out of Rey Mysterio for 3 months, and then got a world title shot, and then he got a world title shot at John Cena. That's crazy. He beat the shit out of Rey Mysterio.
I remember the next night on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio was begging for answers. Batista came out, shades on, black shirt, and straight up told Rey, man, get that bullshit out my face, nigga. I'm not fucking with you. And then Rey Mysterio crying, he's like, bro, what about Eddie? What about Eddie? And Batista said, bro, Eddie is dead. Get the fuck out of here, nigga.
See, that was wild right there. I hate it when they use that. Especially when they made Randy do that shit, bro. I hate when they did that. They disrespect Eddie like that, dog. Let that man rest in peace, dog. R.I.P. to Eddie Guerrero, man. For real, dog. R.I.P. to Eddie Guerrero. I hate when they did that shit just to get heat, bro. That was unnecessary to keep throwing shots at Eddie Guerrero, bro. It's tacky. That's all I'm gonna say. It's tacky. I never agreed with them always taking shots at Eddie from the grave. Why are you taking shots at this man from the grave? What did he do to deserve that? The man is dead. His family's still grieving. Let that man rest in peace. Why did they keep doing that? I hate it every time they did that shit. But I digress. Anyways, let's get right back to it.
He really put the stamp on the heel turn with that promo right there, I'm telling you. They went on to have a couple of matches in which Batista baked the shit out this dude. I think they even had one match where Batista hit 3 straight Batista bombs on him. The ref had to get involved and say, yo, chill, no more, bruh. And that's wild because even at that time, I was still rocking with Batista. I was like, what, 10, 11 years old? But I still was rocking with him, man, I'm sorry. He would come out in some of the nicest little polo tees he'd wear.
He ain't fresh. He ain't fresh. He got the Ralph Lauren on. Come on, man. With the shades, the Kanye shades. Come on, man. Got the little bracelet. He buffed up, tatted up. He ain't fresh. Come on, dog.
The vests, his promos got a lot better. He'd show way more personality than he's ever done. And one of the best improvements about this run was the spotlight entrance. My goodness, I love that spotlight entrance. Come out to the ring, point to himself, the spotlight is all on him, just like a real heel would. Hell, I rocked with Batista so much, I remember he had a championship match at TLC, a chairs match. By the way, I hate chairs matches, but he had a match with Undertaker for the world title, and I remember he actually got the visual pin. He pinned him by using a low blow. Teddy Long, though, would come out and say, oh, that's a cheap move, restart the match, and Undertaker won. I remember being so pissed because how can you make chair shots legal but you can't use a low blow? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. It's all good, though, because Batista freed himself from the Teddy Long stupidity going to Raw shortly after. And hell, I do remember there was one segment that's one of the funniest segments you can find. They did a parody of the whole Kanye and Taylor Swift thing with Maria and Batista at the Slammies. Maria's out here accepting her award. Batista's like, yo, back up, I'm happy for you, but let's talk about the greatest award ever, Screwjob of the Year. Oh man, Batista was so funny. He had the whole pink polo on. He was like, yo man, I got robbed, man. They made that nigga look like Kanye. But let's fast forward a little bit to the big highlight of Batista's run, the WWE Championship win. So leading up to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in 2010, Batista had a qualifying match against CM Punk on SmackDown. Batista would do something very shocking, and instead of actually competing for the match, he walked out and took a count-out loss. It was shocking to see for several reasons, but the main one is that,
well, you got to go back in context to give context to it. So apparently this is when Bret Hart first came back for the first time in I don't know how many years that was, but I think it was I want to say it was like 15 14 years since Bret Hart was in a WWE ring, and he came back for the first time. He confronted Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels. He made amends with Shawn Michaels, but him and Vince still had heat. And I think he was about to beat Vince's ass, and then Batista came out and beat the shit out of him. And then John Cena came out of nowhere and ran him off. And he picked up Bret Hart and then raised his hand in the air, you know, the usual typical babyface John Cena shit. And then Batista came back into the ring and beat the fuck out of John Cena. And that's how we ended up here. He got into a qualifying match to be in the Elimination Chamber. John Cena had already qualified. So yeah. And Batista was like, fuck this, I don't want that title. I got other shit. So he was already in cahoots with. That's how he got into cahoots with Vince McMahon, because he beat the shit out of Bret Hart.
He spent all year trying to get back that World Heavyweight Championship, and he just gave up the opportunity. In the meantime, he was also going to Raw to help Vince McMahon attack John Cena and beat up Bret Hart. So something was going on, but you just couldn't put your finger on it. But then on February 21st, 2010, it all became clear after John Cena won his Elimination Chamber match. He was the new WWE Champion, and who did Vince McMahon send out to have a match immediately after for the WWE Championship? You guessed it, Batista. He went on to beat Cena in short order, of course, and became the WWE champion for the second time in his career. Cena and Batista would then have a rematch the next night on Raw, and if Cena won, he would get a rematch for the WWE championship at WrestleMania. Batista, though, purposely got himself disqualified with the low blow, and then for good measure, for fun, just beat the shit out of John Cena anyway.
Beat up John Cena! Beat up John Cena! Beat up John Cena!
Batista then the next week would cut, in my opinion, probably his best promo to date. He talked to John Cena and told him, "I lost that match last week on purpose. I want to face you at WrestleMania." He would then go on to basically just bury the shit out of John Cena.
You want to know what I think? I don't want to know what you think. I don't care what you think. What you think is irrelevant.
God, if you just go back and watch Batista, the anger and fury in this man's eyes were hilarious. And the funniest shit is that while he's saying all this, he's got this hilarious vest on, the shades, the skinny jeans, and there's a bunch of security on stage. You know, those little geeks they get from the indie shows for $500 each. And he pulls the line telling John Cena, "Hey, these guards aren't here to protect me. They're here to protect you." God. Oh man, Batista even pulled the line. He was like, "Dog, whenever we're in the ring, bad things happen to you. I beat your ass last week for the hell of it. I beat you at Elimination Chamber and took your WWE Championship. And the last time we had a one-on-one match a couple years ago at SummerSlam, I broke your neck," which is actually a true story, by the way. So Batista had some real claims that John Cena could not beat him. It was backed up in actual fact, but the real money line was this right here.
Keep on kissing babies and hugging fat girls, and I'm gonna be in a gym somewhere thinking about beating
this shit
the
is
hell
goated.
out of you.
This shit
at
was goated.
WrestleMania.
Hey, I was still a fan of John Cena at this time, but man, Batista had me, dog. I was loving it, bro. I was loving it. The character change with Batista, I was loving it. I wasn't even mad at it. I wasn't even gonna be mad if Batista beat John Cena at WrestleMania. I wouldn't have even been mad. It would have made sense considering the fact that Cena didn't beat him yet. So it would have made a lot of sense, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Couldn't have wrote it any better. Kissing babies and hugging fat girls is hilarious. And Cena, if you see his face during this promo, he just looks so dejected, like, man, is this guy right? Am I really not shit? Man, he had Cena second guessing himself for real. Batista would later go on to cut some really hilarious promos. I remember he had a promo in the ring with John Cena where he said to the crowd, "When I look at you guys, I don't see people. I see money, 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 dollar signs, dollar signs."
With some of you, a lot of dollar signs, because I see a lot of fat people in the audience, and I know you paid for 2 seats. Thank you very much.
Man, when I tell you, this guy went on a tear with this run as WWE champion. Unfortunately, though, the reign as champion didn't last too long as John Cena beat him at WrestleMania 26. They'd go on to have 2 more matches at Over the Limit and Extreme Rules, which John Cena did win, last man standing matches and an I Quit match. And after the I Quit match, Batista in storyline was injured. Bret Hart asked him to compete. Batista refused because he was not cleared. So Bret Hart, surprisingly in a dick move, said, "Hey, we're just gonna advance Randy Orton, you forfeit." Batista told him if he didn't reverse the decision, he's gonna quit. And that's exactly what he did. He quit in the middle of the ring like a typical heel. And that was it. That was the end of Batista's heel run from late 2009 to mid-early 2010. We're talking about really a 7-month run, and it was still the best work that he had done as a character throughout his entire career. I really don't think we got enough of heel Batista. We saw some glimpses when he came back in 2014 and for that one-off match with Triple H. I love that promo where he basically came out to the ring, showed the montage of him beating Triple H over and over and over. And then after the montage, it was the perfect example of less being more with his promo.
Hunter, kiss my.
I really do wish we got some more heel Batista. There was some untapped potential there, but hey, I can't complain because what we got was still great, and I'm just glad we got something at all. But you guys let me know what you thought about the heel Batista run down below in the comment section.
That shit was goated. I don't care what anybody says. Heel Batista was goated, bruh. I love this run. I wasn't mad at it or nothing. I wasn't even mad that he was beating up John Cena. I didn't care. The character, this is the one thing I say about a WWE superstars for me. Your character means more to me than, you know, whether you're the good guy or bad guy. I could give two fucks about you being a good guy or bad guy. It's about your character. It's about the shit that you do in the ring that either infuriates or makes me be like, that nigga smart. Cause it's still real to me, damn it. So I don't give a fuck about good guy versus bad guy. I'll tell you right now, I want Roman Reigns to still be champion. I don't want to see Cody as champion. Cody's character is so bland and so basic, and it's so terrible. Now, when Cody was a heel back in the days, I wanted him to be a WWE champion badly because his character was just phenomenal. But you know what I'm saying? Another guy like John Cena, when he was Thugonomics John Cena, Word Life, Crazy Thugonomics John Cena, coming out rapping and dissing his opponents and stuff like that before he went in the ring and whooped their ass. Like, yo, that was dope. Like, character means more to me than whether you're the heel or the face. That doesn't matter to me. It's all about your character work. If your character work is phenomenal, I'm rooting for you. And Batista's character work was phenomenal, and that's why I rooted for him. But anyways, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. Till then, peace out.